Audio on demand from Vision Christian Media.
Exploring faith and the future. Neil Johnson and Bible teacher Dr. Kameel Majdali.
Casting our eyes around the world and landing on the Middle East, which is really a hotspot. And with the various warmongering that's going on, civil war in Syria, all of the conflict that is affecting those nations that surround Israel, of course the church, like the meat in the sandwich, is caught up in persecution. Kameel, this is something that every believer needs to take to heart, that our brothers and sisters suffer for Christ.
Neil, persecution of Christians worldwide is on the increase. It's very possible that it could be the greatest amount of persecution we've ever seen, full stop, in all of church history, in part because the church is larger than it's ever been before. This growth comes at a price, and it has to do with persecution. I'm well aware there are people who are much more specialized in this area than I am, but I do know a few things about the persecution. It's happening in most of the countries to some degree. Places like Egypt, Iraq, Iran, now in Syria. And the Syrian situation is really disturbing because under Assad, now I'm not endorsing or condemning Assad, I'm just merely stating a fact, that under Assad, he was a dictator for sure, but he was secular. And Christians could practice their religious life unmolested, untouched. That changed when the civil war broke out. And apparently, especially under the rebels, Christians were being targeted, either because they were perceived as being pro-Assad or just because they were Christians. And so kidnappings, looting of their homes, making them vacate homes, murder of Christians, and even a few reported beheadings, including that of a priest not long ago. Incredibly disturbing. But the other thing that's disturbing to me is, why is it that Western governments are so quiet about these things? In one sense, it shouldn't matter even the religion of the persecuted. If a mass of people are being hunted down and destroyed, if we don't speak out now, the problem is only going to get worse.
Kameel, is it the case that governments just don't know what to do about those who are displaced because of this sort of unrest? Or is it because perhaps they don't want to respond on behalf of the Christian minority?
I can't really explain, Neil, why governments may not speak out. They have every right to do so. They have the clout. They have the money. They have the military. Not that we're threatening military action, but certainly speaking out can help enormously. Why they don't do it, I cannot say. There could be, and I'm just speculating, a little bit of political correctness or fear that it may bring reproach or bring reprisal on certain community groups like Muslims, because these are Muslim-majority countries that Christians are being persecuted in. It's not easy to say why. But, Neil, the other issue is it's not just the governments that are failing to speak out, but it appears that the Western church is pretty silent as well. Why that is the case is baffling, because it's not going to impress the community to ignore the needs of your co-religionists when they are suffering and dying in another part of the world. I think it would be a great testimony and very admirable to step out, say enough is enough, and that we deplore what is happening. It does happen occasionally. For the Copts in Egypt, there has been some response here in Australia on their behalf, but we need to do more.
Faith and the Future with Neil Johnson and Dr. Kameel Majdali from Teach All Nations. Find articles, videos and podcasts from Dr. Kameel, plus today's and other episodes of Faith and the Future in the Vision app or at vision.org.au.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.